The Year of the River 2019 is the bicentennial celebration of the Ouachita River Valley to remember that in 1819, the first steamboat visited the Ouachita Valley and its communities from Jonesville to Camden, and the steamer's name was the James Monroe. In 2019, the Year of the River will be celebrated by communities that settled, survived, thrived, and have a future together by maintaining and cherishing the river. In 2019, we want to explore and know our entire Ouachita Valley River and share our talents and knowledge up and down the river from Jonesville to Camden. The river and the steamboat first connected us. Let's celebrate those connections. What is the Ouachita Valley? The Ouachita River comes, or springs, from the Ouachita Mountain near Mena, Arkansas, and flows through today's Lake Ouachita and Lake Catherine, and then into Louisiana, where it joins the Black at Jonesville, then the Red, and the Mississippi, over 500 miles in distance. The Ouachita River tributaries. The first is the Saline, which enters the Ouachita from the north. In Louisiana at Sterlington, Bayou Bartholomew flows from the east, and Bayou D'Arbonne from the west. To the east, flowing southwestward, the Beth River joins the Ouachita in Catahoula Parish, and the Tensas River enters at Jonesville. Note that Bayou Bartholomew, Beth River, and Bayou Macon all extend well into the Arkansas Delta, putting Monroe as a destination for transshipping down the Mississippi. The Ouachita Valley was a rich land with no viable means of transportation of people or goods, but that would be changed. Henry Shreve modified Fulton Steamboat to function on the smaller, shallower Mississippi tributaries. His design allowed maneuverability, more cargo space, and passenger accommodation. Wealthy developers from Mississippi, the Upper South, and the Northeast bought and cleared land with slave labor. The Tensas River Basin was clear-cut and declared the most productive cotton acreage in the world. The new cash crop, cotton, made planters millionaires and put coins in the pockets of the hill farmers. This led to new marketplaces, including the Catahoula towns of Columbia, Trenton, and Camden, which led to new European immigration through New Orleans of a mercantile class of Jewish and Italians. This cotton acreage was undeveloped land, and there is estimated a forced migration into the Deep South of 1 million slaves during the 30-year cotton boom. New Orleans became the fourth largest port in the world, behind only London, New York, and Shanghai. By 1860, 4 million bales of cotton worth $6.5 billion in today's currency flowed annually through New Orleans. Then it stopped. Simplistically, the Civil War ended the cotton boom. By 1863, the federal gunships controlled the Ouachita, and the steamboats and cotton were confiscated or destroyed. Cotton boom was over, the plantation system ceased, and the inhumanity of slavery as the driving labor force was ended. 4 million slaves in the Deep South were freed. Steamboating not only revived during Reconstruction, but reached its zenith in profitability in the 1870s, based on the emerging timber industry and the resurgence of cotton through sharecropping and tenant farming. The sharecropping was based on a family unit farming land that another person earned. Some people called it a return to serfdom or tied to the land by the slavery of debt. By 1870 to 1937, America regained its position as the world's leading exporter of cotton, but the vast profits based on slave labor were gone. The steam engine created many jobs. The transportation of products, crops, and people through the steam locomotive and trains. The steam sawmills built entire communities such as Urania, Clark's, and Crossett. Cotton gins, cotton warehouses, and cottonseed oil mills were developed. Paper mills were created to make use of the lumber industry waste and the foreknowledge that the saw timber was being quickly exhausted and that smaller trees could be used to make papers. These new industries created millionaires and subsequent philanthropists, from conservationists to cultural entities to oilmen and merchants, bankers, all led to the philanthropy that we know today, such as Adolf Felsenthal, who became the father of year-round navigation on the Ouachita River. The steamboats were romanticized in books, Broadway plays, and musicals. Their cargo had been usurped by the train, but the big boats were used in silent movies. This is actual footage of Uncle Tom's Cabin being filmed on the Ouachita River. Steamboating left ripples not only on our river, but impacted our communities for multiple generations. Hats off to steamboats and the river that flows directly in to the Roaring Twenties. The Roaring Twenties along the Ouachita Valley were fueled by the discovery of natural gas fields in Arkansas and Louisiana. World War I had concluded and the daring young men and their flying machines came home. Travis Oliver, promoting a new airfield and called it Selman after an airman who was killed in World War I, used the airfield as well as a group of businessmen who financed a small airline called Delta. Striking innovative architecture, including public buildings, high-rise hotels with rooftop gardens, and innovative private homes. The Cooley family, a steamboat entity in itself, epitomized the 20s. Millionaires from steamboats to laundries, who but the Cooleys would own the first private automobile, steam launch, commission and build a unique prairie-style home, and who but Bert Cooley would be given an admiralty by the governor for his extraordinary philanthropy in establishing a TB hospital for patients of all races. Through depression, another world war, and economics up and downs, the river is not just beautiful, but has great economic value. In the 2017 study, commissioned by the North Delta Economic Partnership Board, shows the necessity of a maintained river. $5.66 billion is the annual impact based on navigation and water level control on the lower Ouachita River. We want to remember in the Year of the River 2019 the past and the influence that the steamboats contributed to our valley's development. Also appreciate the present and the continuing importance of the river in our lives and future. and each of us can ensure the future of the river by doing your part, one bottle at a time. In 2019, celebrate every day the river's past, present, and future. Sing a song, paint a picture, have a picnic on the banks, ride the duty ferry, study the needs, and truly appreciate the beauty and strength, but also the fragility of their sparkling waters. Use this guide as a plan for your Year of the River 2019. Communicate with us through our website what your plans are, and let us help disseminate your individual celebrations. We would love to hear from you.